Hey Peter, well, I'm back on Carrickfinn Beach up in the sand dunes now, and obviously after the weekend been watching Fight Camp 2, the first weekend, and after Conor Benn's dropout you thought, well, this is really going to affect the show negatively. As I said last time in Fight Camp, Eddie Hearn was maybe very lucky with all the fights being very exciting. We were all looking forward to that Conor Benn test against Vargas, and then Conor tested positive for COVID, so he was out. There was a co-main event always with this show though, and that was Leigh Wood against Zhu Can. And reviewing that last week, I said I thought that Zhu Can would probably have too much for Leigh Wood, and I saw it as a points win for Zhu Can. Now, happily, I was proved very wrong, so that was elevated to the main event, and Leigh Wood just put on a masterclass. It was a tactical masterclass. You got to give Ben Davison a lot of credit for maybe turning around Leigh Wood's career at this point, and it was a brilliant display of boxing. He just, Zhu Can came out with that high guard, like he does. He's a volume puncher, likes to throw a lot of punches, but he hadn't fought since 2019, and he came out with that high guard, and Leigh Wood just backed away at an angle, throwing hooks around that guard, coming up with the right uppercut beautifully through the middle of the guard when the guard opened, and Zhu Can tried to throw shots. And it was just one of those tactics in a fight where, the tactics worked spot on from round one, and so, he just kept doing it, and Zhu Can didn't seem to have an answer for it. He seemed to be throwing sort of single shots, not really getting through with those, and Leigh Wood seemed to grow in confidence as he went through the fight, leading up to that 12th round finish. He was well ahead. The fight wasn't close, I thought, and obviously in the 12th round, funnily enough, right at the end of the 12th round, Zhu Can did connect with the right hand and seemed to think, right, well, I've got to go for it now. Went for it and walked straight onto that right hook from Leigh Wood and went down, and then got up, and then, Leigh Wood just poured it on, and Marcus McDonald stepped in with 17 seconds of the round to go, and Leigh Wood is WBA regular world champion. So, with the WBA, I know it's always difficult. We're talking about these championships all the time, but WBA regular champion, the super champion is Leo Santa Cruz, who hasn't defended since 2019, but the regular champion is now Leigh Wood. And I think, it's absolutely fantastic for Leigh Wood, to come through like that. Like I said, it was a masterclass in tactical boxing. Maybe Zhu Can didn't turn up, but maybe he just was frustrated and couldn't get his things off because of the sort of technical brilliance that Leigh Wood was displaying. So that was a bit of a fairy tale ending there for the first week of Fight Camp. So we're coming on to week 2 now, and headlining this time we've got Jazza Dickens against Kid Galahad. An interesting fight. This is a rematch. They last fought in 2013 for the British Super Bantamweight title, and Galahad was victorious there in the 10th round against Dickens. Since then, obviously that's a long time ago, 2013. They've gone on to sort of compete at world level. Galahad challenged Josh Warrington in 2019 and dropped a points decision for the IBF featherweight title, and Jazza Dickens challenged in 2016 the sort of sublime Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he had a jaw injury in the second round. So neither of them have won world honours, but both of them are challenged to world honours. So challenged for world honours. So this time it's the IBF vacant featherweight title they're boxing for. So another featherweight world title on the second week of Fight Camp. To be honest with you, I see a repeat of the first fight. I think it will be Galahad, either late stoppage or points. I just think he's just got a little bit more at this weight. He's taller, longer arms, all that sort of stuff. So I just see him as taking this out. We've got a dog joining us. He wants to come in and see the boxing talk because we're up on the sand dunes above Carrickfinn Beach. But that's a really interesting fight. I mean, another interesting little point about that is Jazza Dickens beat Leigh Wood in 2020. And then Leigh Wood rebounded and won the British title, which put him in for this shot against Can Xu. But Jazza Dickens holds that victory over Leigh Wood already. That was a points majority decision in 2020. So, and now he fights for another version of the featherweight title against Kid Galahad. But I'm picking Kid Galahad in that one. The other interesting fight on this, really for personal reasons as well, is Ebony Bridges against Beck Connolly. Ebony Bridges, had that breakout fight against Shannon Courtney. As we know, I mean that was a fantastic. People had really sort of derided Ebony Bridges as being just a show pony, coming in with her sort of arriving in lingerie for the weigh-ins and stuff like that. But she really showed in that fight that she could fight. She lost that fight to Shannon Courtney. I thought it was very tight and the scorecards were a bit unfair, but I thought it was all even going into the last round, and then Connolly won the last round. Sorry, Shannon Courtney won the last round. So, I thought she was the clear winner. But Ebony Bridges did amazing. She had that eye shut. She showed guts and heart and everything that people maybe doubted that she had. So, I'm looking forward to seeing her back out again. So Ebony Bridges is 5-1. Bet Connolly is 3-9. So, you know, she's had that loss to Rachel Ball as well on points in 2019. So this is really, I think, about seeing how Ebony Bridges can compete against her in relation to Rachel Ball, because I think there's a nice little trio going there. Shannon Courtney, Rachel Ball and Ebony Bridges, you know, they've got to fight it out and decide who's going to be the best of that. So, you know, I thought Fight Camp went really well. I think this is going to be a regular fixture. It was good to see crowds in at Fight Camp, even though it's £750 a ticket. It's still a bit exclusive, but you know, it's going to be really interesting. Really looking forward to week 2. It's going to be great. Shame we can't be there, Peter, but I will be back next week, back in the gym. Can't wait. It's been a wonderful break in Donegal, and it's been great to be able to keep up with the boxing on DAZN. And yeah, looking forward to getting back. See you soon.